this morning about buying cottage properties and those rural properties as well, and you have some great advice, so we're going to continue on with our conversation. Let's talk a little bit about utilities and services and what people should be thinking about.
So if you're thinking of making a move to a cottage and would like to have a great long weekend, are you looking for, internet? Because not all of them have access even to any internet, like no bars on your phone whatsoever.
Right.
So also, what kind of services are you looking for? Another thing that we were speaking about was in regards to your bathroom facilities. Is it actually one of those where is it a septic or is it a holding tank? And the holding tanks offer different situations in addition to what you can put down your bathroom toilet.
Right.
It is very important, and I talk about this all the time when I sell rural properties. Do you know what your septic is? Do you know what you can and cannot do? Even something as easy as cooking oil cannot go down. So you have to adjust your lifestyle in regards to those systems.
Really good information. Something else is natural hazards and environmental factors.
So when you have a rural property, do you have the access to the water and or your system in regards to what your drainage is and everything else? Do you have even poison ivy on your property?
Right.
So you have to address those issues and be aware of what it is to live rurally, because a lot of times you're not aware until it's kind of too late.
Yeah, it reminds me of the city mouse and the country mouse.
Exactly.
The city mouse, put in the country, it's
Yeah.
not always what you expect. Okay, property condition and infrastructure.
Right. So have you done a building inspection? The infrastructure, we talked about having a boathouse, and can you maintain that? Because you can't add them anymore. Do you have sheds and everything else in regards to outbuildings and so forth? So you have to know what you can and cannot put on the property, because there are many bylaws that you could not be aware of unless you have that education system.
Yeah, and you don't want to go putting it up and then bylaw come knocking on your door say, actually,
Yes.
that $10,000 structure has to be taken down.
Yeah.
You say neighborhood and community.
So in regards to the neighborhood, so what's going on in your neighborhood? What are you looking for in the neighborhood and the community? Sometimes you also have an additional cost being part of the community. It's a community fee. And so are you aware of that? Because it might be, again, we talked about the roads. You might have a road fee. What is part of the community in regards to the roads, the schools, etc.? So there sometimes are additional fees when you're part of the neighborhood.
Okay, really good advice there. Something else is future development.
Yes, a lot of people get very excited. We're out in the country. I've got all this property. And then they realize that one of the big builders here in Ottawa are building behind them. So are you aware of the zoning behind you? Because it's important to know what you're buying, what it will be in the future. We are currently dealing at TrinityStone. We are selling, a $1 million property, yet behind them is one of our big builders who are building high-rise townhomes.
Oh, no.
So that needs to be made aware of.
Addressed, absolutely. Okay, another point you say is costs and financing.
So with the new tax rules and everything else that's coming on, what are your costs, right? What are your additional costs? Do you know about even the dock that you might have to put in? Because docks are very expensive. Do you need a floating dock? Do you need boat whips? There are several different things. And also financing is different with rural properties because you actually can't get financing unless you have a water sample in that. So you have to have several things in place in regards to your well and your septic before you're actually even going to get financing.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us today and breaking it down. If you're thinking about buying a rural property or perhaps